Welcome to England pack. An A to Z of London. An umbrella. Earth to Soph? How do you spell Fforde? Sorry, what did you say? She tugged the balloon down and punctured it with her scissors. Well done, said Ella, the other cookery writer on Citizen. I meant to do that. Well, I thought about it. And how do you spell Fforde? I can never remember. Sophie reeled off the spelling and sat down at her desk opposite Ella. What did Angela want? You in trouble? Sophie shook her head, still slightly bemused at the suggestion that she should go to work on their sister publication in Manhattan, the American Citizen. If she told Ella, she'd never hear the end of it. How was your weekend? Ella screwed up her face. Oh, for feck's sake, spell-check's changed it to clawfoot. Can you spell it again for me? I went to that new French place in Stoke Newington. A bit of a trek, but... Oh! How was Le Gavroche on Saturday? Oh, no, he didn't. Sophie winced and summoned up a blithe smile. Unfortunately, we didn't get there. His mum was ill. Oh, for crying out loud! The woman's always ill. She can't help it, Sophie protested, ignoring the inner bitch that agreed wholeheartedly. Was it wrong to wish Mrs. Soames could time being unwell just a tad more conveniently? And it was an emergency this time. Blue lighted the hospital. Poor James. Spent all night in A&E, waiting for news. With a scowl, Ella said, You are too bloody nice, and far too damn forgiving. He doesn't deserve you. I wouldn't love him if he wasn't so nice. How many men do you know that put their family first? Ella pursed her pale pink sparkly lips. It looked as if she'd been pillaging the beauty editor's cupboard again. True. Greg forgot Mother's Day, my birthday, and our anniversary. Sophie wanted to roll her eyes but refrained. Greg barely remembered anything but his next five-a-side football fixture. You're such a brilliant cook, said James, putting down his knife and fork. Sophie nodded, rather pleased with the way her massaman curry had turned out. Sweet and spicy, with the right amount of heat, and the potatoes not too soft and not too firm. They were sitting in her spacious kitchen, with a candle burning between them. Mondays were her favourite night of the week, when she would cook a special meal, because she knew James had been running around after his mother all weekend. He lived with her 3 days of the week, and stayed at Sophie's flat the other 4. Sophie suspected Mrs. Soames wasn't really that unwell, but liked having her son at home. And who could blame her? I should marry you one day. He winked and picked up his wine-glass, swirling the ruby-red liquid and sniffing with appreciation. As well he might, it was a very nice Australian Merlot that she'd tracked down on the recommendation of the wine writer at work, and had cost a small fortune. You should, she replied, her heart bumping uncomfortably. It wasn't the first time he'd said something like that. And she'd thought on Saturday at Le Gavroche, the 2nd anniversary of their first date, well, she'd hoped. So how was work today? That was the lovely thing about James. He was always interested. Remember I told you Mel left on Friday? She broke her leg. Can't go to New York now. Sophie hesitated and laughed. Angela offered me her place. What? To go to New York? James looked alarmed. Don't worry, I turned it down. I wouldn't leave you. James smiled and patted her hand. If you really wanted to go, I wouldn't have minded. He paused and then pulled her hand to his lips. But I would have missed you dreadfully, darling. I'd hate it if you went away. Sophie got up and stood behind him, wrapping her arms around his chest, glad that she'd not given too much credence to Angela's flat.